lahat, mga katinig. Muli tayong nagbabalik dito sa Tinig ng Bayan para himayin ang mga pinakabagong kaganapan sa ating Senado. Ngayong araw, usap pa ng naging matapang na pahayag ni Senator Loren Legarda sa gitna ng pagdinig ng Protect Committee. Sa ating napanood, hindi na napigilan ng senadora ang kanyang pagkadismaya sa tila mabagal na pagtugon ng ilang ahensya ng gobyerno, partikular na ang Department of Energy, sa nararanasang krisis sa presyo ng petrolyo sa ating bansa. Mariing tinanong ni Legarda, hindi pa ba ito krisis? Isang tanong na tila sumasalamin sa nararamdaman nating lahat na hirap na sa taas ng bilihin. Dahil sa naging matinding-tindig na ito ni Senator Legarda, nagdagsaan ng samot-saring reaksyon mula sa ating mga kababayan. Marami ang humahanga sa kanyang pagiging direkta at paghingi ng konkretong action plan sa halip na puro pangako lang. Isinusulong na rin ngayon ng Senadora ang Bayanihan 3 o ang Bayanihan Power to the People Act na naglalayong magbigay ng direktang ayuda at ginhawa sa mga pamilyang Pilipino na naiipit sa pandaigdigang krisis sa langis. Ang ganitong klaseng aksyon ay patunay na kailangan natin ng mga lider na hindi lang nakikinig kundi handang bumangga sa burokrasya para sa kapakanan ng nakararami. Bilang inyong tinig ng bayan, mahalagang suriin natin ito ng maigi. Ang pagpuna ni Senator Legarda ay hindi lang basta init ng ulo, kundi isang panawagan para sa transparency at bilis ng serbisyo. Sa gitna ng mga hamon sa ekonomiya, ang kailangan natin ay gobyernong umaamin na may krisis para makahanap ng tamang solusyon. Hindi pwedeng papetiks-petiks lang habang ang taong bayan ay naghihikahos. Ang bawat binitiwang salita sa loob ng Senado ay dapat magbunga ng tunay na pagbabago sa bulsa at sa hapagkainan ng bawat Pilipino. Kaya naman, mga katinig, ano ang inyong pananaw sa naging aksyong ito ni Senator Loren Legarda? Sapat na ba ang kanyang isinusulong na Bayanihan 3 para maibsan ang ating hirap? O may iba pa kayong mungkahi para sa ating gobyerno? Iwanan ang inyong mga matatapang na opinyon sa comment section sa ibaba dahil ang inyong boses ay mahalaga sa ating talakayan. At syempre, huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe at i-click ang notification bell para lagi kayong updated sa mga totoong issue dito sa Tinig ng Bayan. Hanggang sa muli mga kababayan, patuloy nating bantayan ang ating kinabukasan.
Aga po sa lahat. So si Yusek Wimpy, naghati na kami, type enforcer on the ground, and myself looking after making sure we continue to have supply coming into the country. So, next slide. So we've structured this as per the request of the committee. So we begin with the current situation, assess our stock, and then a short slide on the MAPS price series, as this is the direct price that imports come into the country are range against.
Mr. Chairman, before you proceed, just for the record, may we know where Secretary Sharon Green is?
Alam ko, papuntang Malacanang.
I'm trying to verify, but I heard she's on her way to Malacanang at the time that we had a press con at 8:30 to 9:30, and she was on the way. Yes, this morning.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Just for the record, Senator Kiko, I actually told her that it's imperative that she brief us in person dahil ang isa sa pinakamalaking casualty dito ay energy sector. Pero may pinadala siya sa akin napakahabang schedule niya na hindi ko naman hiningi. In short, busy raw siya today, no? Pero sabi ko nga sa kanya, kung merong isang dahilan kung bakit tayo nandito ay dahil mataas ang presyo ng langis at hindi rin natin alam kung tuloy-tuloy pa yung supply natin. Kaya sana makarinig namin sa ating secretary kung ano ba yung kanyang plano. Kasi kung nawalan tayo ng supply ng langis, malaki ang ating problema. Nevertheless, pinadala niyo yung kanyang mga undersecretary, and I hope that the undersecretaries can commit a contingency plan, hindi lang motherhood statement, katulad ng sinabi ni Senator Loren. So, go ahead, Yusek Sales.
Mr. Chair, I join you and Senator Kiko and the rest in asking that no less than the cabinet level should be here. Kung nandito ang SFA, bakit hindi yung iba? You're too busy? Is this not the most important thing? Admit there's a crisis. You must have a crisis action plan. And not that we don't appreciate the presence of a dear friend, Yusek Wimpy Fentabella, of course, who's very competent, who's been with the DOE for quite a while. But to give it the importance, if SecRex and Sec. T. Laurel could be here, why should the DOE secretary be exempted from this? When DBM is here, pag kayo and NEDA, pag kayo ay humihingi ng mga budget ninyo, maski overnight, nandyan kayo. Pero pag crisis action plan, marami kayong dahilan. The Senate will not allow that. Unless you are not admitting that we are in a crisis situation. Then you're lost in translation o nahihibang. Because everyone must act as if we were an ICU situation. That's how it should be. Not to enrage the people and not to let the people panic. But on the contrary, if they see the government on the ground and having more than what the chair mentioned, so-called motherhood statements, not just curated PowerPoints. We want to see your action plan. How many people, families will be positively affected, if any? And what are the monies, the funds needed for continuing appropriations? And what are the line items in GAA 2026 na pwedeng ikalap maging savings para ito ang gagamitin? Tapos sasagutin ng DOF at ng DBM saan manggagaling ito considering 2.5 months pa lang at aminadong wala pang pera ang gobyerno. Pinapaasa ang mga tao tapos walang ibibigay. Hindi pwede yon. Tapos wala pa ang ibang kabinete dito. Pag sa ibang bagay, mabilis pa sa alas 4. Pero sa krisis, wala. Ano ba kayo? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Yusek Sales.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So that's the outline for today. We'll cover the 6 areas, hopefully very quickly. In the end, we will have a recommendation for specific legislative asks to enable the contingency program, especially the Tier 3 that we'll present. Next slide. This is the current situation. So beginning this Tuesday, there's another increase. So the left panel is the range for diesel. We're showing diesel because this is itong pinaka-importante day-to-day fuel natin. So ang range natin ngayon ay 105 pesos to 134 pesos sa pump price. These are going to be yung prices sa Metro Manila, sa highly urbanized areas in the Philippines. No, ang adjustment reflected on the pump is 13 to 18 pesos po. Ang DOE nag-signal ng breach ng ating $80, actually umabot ng 89.02 nung nakaraang March 13 po. And we'll have a short slide on why baka hindi na ito angkop na trigger yung Dubai. Ginamit namin sa analysis 59.50 but we all know that has now moved to 60. So maliit pa lang. Next slide. So this slide shows yung ating current inventory as of Friday, March 20. Yung dark blue, this chart is in days po. And iba-ibang produkto nandiyan po, diesel, gasoline, LPG. So yung dark blue are actual stock in country. So sa diesel may 46 days. This is based on our average utilization, daily utilization. Yung light blue color po, yan po ang nagre-represent ng physical limit ng ating storage tanks in country. So pag tinignan nyo, medyo malapit na tayo sa tank tops ng diesel at gasoline. This takes into account yung nabili na, nasa dagat na at papunta na sa Pilipinas. Confirmed in transit orders. So, in terms sa international standard po, sa IEA, 30 days po ang suggestion ng International Energy Association. In fact, all our products are above that. Ngayon, ang hindi lang LPG. So we're looking especially into the case of LPG. Dito po sa slide na to, kasama na dyan yung unang na-order ng PNOC Exploration Corporation, about 138,000 barrels of diesel. So, ang sunod namin tinitingnan actually is yung ating LPG at yung jet fuel. Yung fuel oil po, karamihan dyan ay for generators na natitira na lang. Next slide. Ito po yung basihan kung bakit baka kailangan natin palitan yung ating trigger na Dubai Platts na nasa batas. Simply put, sa oil trading may Dubai Platts, dyan po nakabase ang presyo ng produkto. And ang tinatawag technically is yung crack spread. Kung ang produkto, Dubai Platts, no March 9 ay 125 from 71. Ang diesel, per barrel po ito, sumirit ng $184 per barrel. In graphical view, yan po yan. Yung diesel maps ay yung parang orange na pula. Yung Dubai Platts, yung blue. Yung diferensya sa dalawa, yan ang tinatawag na crack spread. Nung nag-umpisa po ang kaguluhan, makikita natin na lumapad yung spread. Dati ang spread niyan is mga $15 to $20 per barrel. Nung nag-umpisa po ang gera, umakyat ito at kasalukuyan just above somewhere $60 po ang crack spread. So, nagdi-devise na ngayon ng DOE na palitan, magmumungkahi na palitan yung ating trigger kasi hindi siya akma sa galaw ng presyo ng produkto. Lumalabas pagka ganito nagkakaroon ng gulo. Next slide po. Nagpadala po ng 5 senaryo, different price levels. Pero may konting mismatch kasi itong binigay ng mga senaryo levels ay Dubai average over a period of time. We try to match it dun sa actual na maps po ito at malaking impluensya yung crack spread. So based on that, ang tingin ang evaluation ng DOE is actually nasa scenario 3 na po tayo na binigay po ng committee. So, scenario 3, lumalapit na po tayo sa scenario 4. And precisely why we think that it's more appropriate now kasi parang lumalabas yung trigger na huli. When in fact, kung na-redesign natin yung trigger to something more appropriate now, like basing it on maps and yung appreciation, maybe yung trigger mas maagang dumating. Kasi yung trigger dumating March 13 po nag-release eh. Because Dubai Platts ang nakalagay. Pero when in fact, 2 days after, kung nasa maps ang trigger, na-trigger na po natin.
Sorry. Anong dapat ginawa? Or anong dapat gawin? Anong pumungkahin nyo?
Well, we're doing a policy note on changing the trigger. Hindi po nakaano sa Dubai Platts. Ihahalo natin yung takbo ng MOPS, which is the mean of Platts Singapore, on the products, diesel, gasoline, and kerosene po.
This problem has been ongoing for several weeks. And you're saying that hindi po nabago. Ano po ang dapat gawin ayon sa inyong mungkahi at ganong katagal bago nyo mabago para akma
We will,
sa panahon?
yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. We will be presenting for legislative action po yung pag-change ng trigger. Nasa batas po kasi yung trigger.
Kung batas po yan, kung
Na-trigger
batas po yan, kung paano ko lang batas, tanong ko, nabigay na ba nyo sa Senado at sa Kongreso yung bill? Pangalawa, na-certify ba ng urgent? At kung hindi pa, anong sense of urgency ninyo sa DOE kung sinasabi nyo sa hearing na ito na kailangan may batas na ganito,
Mr. Chair.
legislation? Number one, are the draft bills in both houses of Congress, have they been referred to the appropriate committees? I did not see a certification of urgency by the office of the president. If you seem to say, sir, that this is very urgent.
Mr. Chair, if I may, we did realize this when the situation unfolded as shown on the graph. So you would see that it's a fairly constant 20, and then when the crisis happened, the market reacted differently now. The spread was increasing very fast, and in fact, we already issued based on the $80 the certification by the DOE. So with this realization, we said that we need to change. Because with what has recently happened, we need to change the trigger probably to make it more reactive to situations like this.
Just to clarify, yung trigger kasi is meant to do two things. One is to trigger the suspension of excise tax. Two is to release the Pantawid Pasada under DOTR. But ito are for purposes of triggering the release of funds. Ang DOE should have a much different trigger. Dapat mas maaga kayo, wag niyo nang antayin yung mga trigger sa loob ng GA kasi hindi yan para sa inyo. Para yan sa release ng funds. So ang punto ko, nung nangyari na yung digmaan, ang analysis ng DOE should be very different. I don't think you should blame the trigger. Kaya late tayo umakto. Kasi iba yun eh. Ibang-iba yun. But again, with the indulgence for colleagues, but let's allow DOE to finish first, and then later on we can
Thank you.
propound those questions. And then after that, we'll go to DepDev para to look at the inflation scenario and also to the Department of Agriculture for the spillover effects to food security.
Thank you,
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
And before I propound questions later, pagkatapos lang po ng DOE presentation, meron lang akong immediate na observation sa presentation nila kasi it relates po dun sa interpellation natin ng excise tax bill. Salamat, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Risa. Go ahead, Yusek Sales.
Thank you po. Next slide po. Now, this is just a graphical presentation against the 5 scenarios. So yung second clustered columns, yan ang current situation na po natin. And you can compare dun sa scenario 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 using yung time-bound and Dubai average. So in reality, as of this week po, nag-i-straddle na tayo between S3 and S4 scenarios that were given by the committee. So yan po ang situation ngayon linggo. Okay, next slide po. Baka medyo maliit pero nilagay lang namin yung action ng DOE in terms of yung immediate tier 1, tier 2 at saka tier 3, 30-day, 90-day and beyond 90 days. So yung nasa unahan was yung sinabi ni Yusek Wimpy during the first week of the situation, intensified inventory check. We wanted to make sure anong estado ng ating supply. Nag-coordinate sa LGU, PNP to check on profiteering and hoarding. Tapos immediately we engaged the oil companies for potential mitigation in price adjustments, like what happened in the first 2 weeks that they were staggering the increases. Then we intensified the energy savings program. In fact, we instituted work from home, carpooling in the department itself. We also went out to the other national government agencies for their implementation, more intense implementation of the energy savings programs in place. We also activated PNOC and PNOC EC to try and look for other sources. And in fact, yung first cargo na in-order ni PNOC EC is arriving towards the end of this week. Diesel po siya. Dadating po sa Subic ngayon linggo. We also engage with the different embassies to ensure yung mga existing contracts po natin, kasi karamihan ng produkto natin ang gagaling po sa South Korea, China, Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, around the region lang, malapit. But we talk to all of the ambassadors here, and in some of the instances directly talk to their Ministry of Energy or to to ensure that yung existing contracts, yung na-order na in place, ay wag pong tamaan ng any sort of export ban. And in fact, kaya medyo gumanda yung inventory, may deliveries na dumating from China, South Korea, Japan. Yung usual suppliers natin are still coming in. That's why yung pinakitang inventory is relatively high. May 38 days po tayo sa gasoline, 42 I think days sa diesel, and more para sa bunker fuel. No? So those are the things we immediately encountered. Of course, pwede rin kasi mag-cascade into the power sector, so we immediately talk to the importers of our coal. So although in power, konti na lang ginagamit natin, peaking fuel na lang yan. But of course, yung coal kasi ini-import natin sa Indonesia, so may marginal increase dahil sa transportation, shipping costs sa Indonesia. So hindi pa namin na-quantify, but it's looking itong mga bagong shipments na dadating ng coal, marginally 10 to 20% increase, primarily sa freight costs. No, but we're already engaging the power plants, especially magsa-summer na po tayo. And then yung dinify natin sa tier 2, further actions natin in the short to medium term. Ito na nga, nag-engage na kami sa embassies to ensure our continued supply para sa mga private contracts with all of our supplying countries. And then we intensified yung ordering ng PNOC and PNOCEC to move out from the traditional sources din natin dito sa Southeast Asia. And they're talking to US supplier and South American suppliers, Indian suppliers, which are not traditional. The only drawback is humahaba yung resupply time, US mga 40, 45 days, kung India ka mga 30 days. But we have to keep the inventory up. And we also have already issued the department circular loosening the use of diesel to Euro 2 standard, but of course this is going to be limited to generators, the old engines. This has particular effect sa mga jeepneys po natin that run on older engines, and it will not be a problem for them to use Euro 2. So that's loosening up on that requirement. We have recommended as well a exemption to the importation of biofuels, because every % biofuel, nababawasan yung need for the gasoline and the diesel. The NBB will be convening to address yung potential to increase yung ethanol blend sa gasolina po natin. Currently, nasa E10 tayo. Baka we're looking at increasing it to E15. Although meron po tayong existing na voluntary E20 usage. Pero maraming technical discussions about E20. Also, we are going to be seeking approval for the supplemental budget for PNOC. The request has been passed to the Committee on Energy chair in the House, I think. So we want to activate yung funds ng GOCC natin to be able to address yung inventory natin in country to keep it at a healthy level.
At dyan nagtatapos ang usapan natin ngayon. Kung may gusto kang idagdag o reaksyon, i-comment mo lang sa baba. Boses mo'y mahalaga. Huwag kalimutang i-like, share, at subscribe para sama-sama nating palakasin ang tinig ng bayan. Hanggang sa susunod, tandaan, ang may alam, may laban!
Awesome!